Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I am Shuichi Furusawa, the third chairman of FFI's affiliate club called JFFA in Japan. This time, as the FFI Virtual Expo, I'd like to introduce here what kind of purpose JFFA members are gathering together and what kind of activities we are doing in Japan. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I was born in downtown Tokyo in 1954. I started fishing in the river at the age of about 10, and since then I have been fishing in the river until I was 66 years old. Well, this slide shows JFFA's philosophy. So JFFA is a volunteer organization. There are 4 points in our philosophy. First, members themselves enjoy fly fishing and spread the fun of it. Second, organize river environment conservation efforts. Third, exchange information and ideas with other groups in Japan and in overseas such as FFI members. Fourth, introduce the youth interest in the natural environment and fishing. Based on this philosophy, we would like to contribute to the creation of an environment where the next generation and future generation can meet beautiful mountain stream fish in a beautiful river and can do it forever. In addition, we consider that it is important for JFFA members to interact with each other. There are about 100 JFFA members all over Japan. Now we have 6 branches. This slide shows there are 6 branches in Japan, covering almost all of Japan. Unfortunately, Hokkaido area and Shikoku area, we don't have branch yet. Well, regarding the activities of JFFA, I think that the activities from the 1st to the 8th are similar to those of FFI. However, the 9th is the JFFA's own unique activity. The Goodwill Guide is a characteristic activity of JFFA, a volunteer organization, and reflects the environment of Japanese angler as well. Japan is a mountainous country, and if we drive for an hour or 2 hours from where we live, there are many small rivers where mountain stream fish are there. We Japanese fly fishermen often go to one of their favorite streams on weekends for fly fishing. Taking long vacation and going fishing to distant river is not yet common in Japanese society. Because of this situation, there are not many fly fisherman guides in Japan, except Hokkaido. Therefore, JFFA members volunteers to guide each other in fishing. I will talk about this activity at the end. Well, the first activity is to educate children about the fun of fishing. In particular, urban children are banned from playing in the river because it is dangerous. However, there is a lot of nature left in the river, and we must continue to keep so. Therefore, first of all, it is an activity to enlighten that river fishing is fun, not limited to fly fishing. This is a picture of children's fishing class held in 2019. We asked all students to wear life vest and explained how to fish. Next, in the upper right corner of the slide, we show that we can catch fish by fly hook. like this. Below that, children are actually hold a rod and do fishing. All children watch the fishing and do actually fly fishing. Although not shown on this slide, there are two adults in the lower reaches of this river to rescue children when they are washed away. We took a picture of the participants. You can see their happy face. This project is held every year, and many children will continue to participate in the next year. This slide shows first tenkara fishing for the kid in the river. Now it is an activity to teach children how to do fly fishing. In this slide, we will introduce what we did as a part of extracurricular lessons at the primary school as a tube branch. First of all, we asked the children to make their own original fly hook. The children's own flies are used to catch the rainbow trout, released into the school pool to convey the joy of fly fishing. Finally, everyone is taking a photo. This activity was also introduced in the newspaper. We are very happy for this. This is an activity carried out in Chugoku branch. This slide is explaining what the river fish are eating. Everyone raises their hand and answers. We gently explain the simple theory of casting. Here we ask the children to make their own original fly hook. Children are making fly hook. All JFFA members are in the age of being the grandfathers of these children. One of the children who participated a year ago showed us a fly hook which he made during the year. We are so surprised and very, very happy. This boy fortunately caught a black bass by fly fishing. For the third, we also hold an observation party for river insect for fly fishermen. We asked a professor who is studying river insect at Hiroshima University to collect a certain section of river insect together and divided them into fast flowing place, shallow place, deep place, slow floating place, etc. was collected. At this time, FFI member Mr. Dave Hughes also participated. Professor Kawai explained what kind of river insects are here in Japanese, and Mr. Dave Hughes explained in English. After that, we are planning to magnify with microscope and study the river insect in detail. The fourth item is a beginner's class for those who have never done fly fishing. So starting with simple time and the difference between lure casting and fly casting, they actually make your own fly and then use the fly hook that they made with own imagination to catch fish by performing fly casting. We are making a simple textbook, as you can see in the slide, for them to enjoy. Some JFFA members have a CA license, but the beginner's class as JFFA is not a class for improving fly fishing. There are CA people in Japan who are good at casting and tying So we recommended that you take the training from those people. Our course is aimed at first telling you that fly fishing is not difficult and it's fun fishing. Due to my time in this expo, I cannot show you all the textbook. We will explain the dry flies, new flies, wet flies, and streamers in the upper row, and explain the tying tools to the student. After that, they will make their own fly. Of course, JFFA members first make a model fly and show how to make it. In fly fishing, we explain the minimum tools necessary for actually fishing in the river, and the tools that you should have, along with the approximate price. As a part of the textbook, it explains the center of gravity of physics, why lure casting easily flies far away, but fly casting does not easily bring out the line. We will also explain the straight line pass, SLP. Here is a picture of the actual tying class. On the right, the tying method is taught, and on the left, the students are working on their own tying. This is a description of casting. Explain that if you capture the height of the rod tip to continue the center of gravity of the line, the center of gravity of the line will move smoothly, and you can make a straight line pass, SLP. This photo shows a student fishing a rainbow trout in a pond with his own fly hook. So far, all the students have caught rainbow trout. As you can see, their satisfied face. At the end of course, they will receive a certification in the name of JFFA president and trainees. This time, at the end of the course, 5 beginners receive a certification. This is a photo of a beginner's class of double hand casting held at the Tube branch. This slide shows beginners fishing school in Tube branch. One of the JFFA members teaches casting. The graduate of the beginners class accompanied the river and became crazy of the fly fishing. Now they are the member of JFFA. Well, there are still more JFFA activities. This is a project to let children experience the nature of river. The small fish hiding between the grass on the river bank are expelled from the downstream with buzzing noise, and the children who wait with a net in upstream catch the fish and will know what kind of fish is in such place. They will have a good experience. Groups are divided into various places in small river and catch river insects and fish that lives in a certain area. When they came back to the room, they will be asked to classify the river insects collected by each group into the same group, or to dissect the stomach of the fish and find out what kind of river insects were in the stomach of the fish. Here, we asked the children to describe what kind of river insect could be observed in the fast flow stream and the slow flow stream, what kind of river insects are in, and how many numbers of the river insect. It is an activity to ask children to see if there are many fish in the river and to think about where they eat a lot of food in the river. Regarding the sixth activity, we also have exchanges between JFFA branches. This is a picture of exchange meeting held in Hiroshima Prefecture. Of course, after this, we all went fishing, and when we came back, we had a beer party. This is an exchange event held in the Tohoku area. This is a photo of all of the participants. This is an exchange event held in Miyazaki Prefecture, Kyushu. The next activity is that our JFFA is a volunteer organization, but we ask our members to donate 6,000 yen every year. Only in the first year, we also distribute JFFA emblems and stickers, and also FFI emblems. Therefore, every year, we hold a class of fly fishing every year, thinking about how to contribute to the people who donate the JFFA headquarters. Of course, every year we distribute activity costs to each branch so that they can carry out their own activities. This slide is a seminar held in Asakusa, Tokyo, 2 years ago in February. The seats are divided in groups, and the seats are separated from each other on the left and the right. This is the previous year. Many people participate every year. In this workshop, in this slide, in order to increase the number of fish, it is better to release eyed eggs and even better to release parent fish than to release small fish, which is raised in a safe pond. And for that purpose, it is spawning. We learned that floor maintenance for the fish, for the parent fish, is the most important thing. In this class, we learned how char living in Japan is genetically different. Everyone is listening seriously. JFFA's environmental protection activities. JFFA advertises that if you go fishing and find trash, you should take it home. This is a picture of when we planned to clean the river. All you have to do is walk the river with a large plastic bag and collect the trash. This slide shows the release of fly by the next generation of children. We also explain the meaning of releasing parent fish to the children and release them. This slide shows biped box installation by the members of Tohoku branch. This is where the eyed eggs are released and the biped box are being collected in the spring. At other times, the fish were labeled and released. It was released by injecting a yellow pigment behind the eye of the released fly, small fish. We also release the fish with cut soft dorsal fin and then consider the appropriate discharge in the river depending on how much the labeled fish occupy in the caught fish. This was approved by the prefecture and in cooperation with the Fishery Research Institute. we used an electric shocker to investigate the number of fish inhabiting and the population of labeled fish in it. This one is also JFFA cooperated with the Fishery Research Institute to create a spawning bed. Finally, I'd like to introduce the Goodwill Guide system, which is a unique activity of JFFA. When Japanese fly fishermen go fishing in distant rivers, they are often invited by their friends. At the beginning of this presentation, I mentioned that there are few guides in Japan, and there are few opportunities to spend a lot of time for fishing, so traveling to distant places and fishing in unknown rivers is not common. Not too many. However, once we try to fish in a distant, unknown river, there are many problems. For example, there are special river fishing licenses for each river, or there are rivers in one river where we need to choose the correct license from 4 or 5 licenses. This means that fishing licenses are not issued by the government in Japan. The license is issued by the local fishery cooperative with the permission of the fisheries section of each prefecture. Therefore, it is not easy to go somewhere by car and find a good river and put out fishing rod there to fish. There are 2 types of license, season license and one-day license. Some places in Japan, like the United States, issued 1 license for each prefecture, but unfortunately many other prefectures. So there is little information about which license to buy. If we find out a fishing tackle shop, we may be able to buy an appropriate license. Fish in this slide, all of fish are Japanese char. There are many different phenotypes of char river in each region. The state of the river also varies from region to region. If you are traveling for fishing to a place where you have never been to before, buying the right license, find out the right parking place, and finding out the safe getting in and out place of the river is important. In this case, if we have a friend who knows such information, we can fish without any problems. Therefore, if there is a system where friends all over Japan can guide each other, it will be possible for fly fishermen to interact with each other and fishing all over Japan. The system created with that in mind is the Goodwill Guide system. This slide shows various rivers in various parts of Japan. They are relatively large rivers, but there are many small rivers in Japan. This slide also shows the common type of creek in Japan. Now I tell you about the example of Hiroshima Prefecture. The number of fishery cooperatives is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. As you can see, 20 fishery cooperatives. It's a lot. Once again, what is a Goodwill Guide? If a JFFA member wants to go fishing at a fishing spot other than the local area, local information on the area where we want to go fishing, for example, safety entry point, safe exit point, convenient parking place, place to buy a license, etc., were not clear. We may not be able to fish with confidence such as when we cannot get the above information. In such case, the members who live in the area will accompany them to guide safe and enjoyable fishing by utilizing the member network nationwide, which also serve as a mutual exchange between members promoted by JFFA in order to put safety first, conserve environmental resources, and not bother people in the area. We made the Goodwill Guide method shown below and enjoy fishing while interacting with each other. Now I will show you the Goodwill Guide instruction. First, members who can perform Goodwill Guides will be published on JFFA's website as a guide members. Second, visitors members who wish to have a Goodwill Guide should contact the guide member individually to request them. Third, the guide does not cover fishing that may be distressed mountains fishing that requires advanced climbing skills, or fishing that requires significant physical exertion. Guide members should not request or accept such guide. Fourth, as a general rule, the Goodwill Guide will do catch and release and collect the trash during fishing. Fifth, the Goodwill Guide is just a free guide. We prohibit the giving and receiving of money that is considered as a guide reward. JFFA is a volunteer organization. Let's do it in the spirit of each other. Sixth, when performing a Goodwill Guide, both the guide member and visitor member should have been covered by accident insurance. This means avoid trouble. Please resolve any accidents or trouble that occur in Goodwill Guide between the parties. JFFA headquarters does not take any responsibility. Seventh, when posting a fishing log or SNS or JFFA website from the viewpoint of resource conservation, please don't post image or sentence that can identify or estimate river name and points as a manner. The name of major rivers and water system that makes it impossible to identify fishing spots are not limited to this. Now this slide shows the Goodwill Guide tips. For the guide member, when you guide, please provide necessary information and at the same time think about safety first and carry out with a reasonable fishing plan. If you feel danger due to sudden changes in the weather or flooding, stop fishing immediately and ensure mutual safety. Ensuring safety is at your own risk. Please tell your family or fishing friend where to go for guide fishing. Avoid places that are kept secret among the local people, avoiding trouble with the local anglers. This is the Goodwill Guide tips for visitor member. Have friendship and gratitude for the guide. Please obediently follow the guide's judgment and advice in the spirit of deepening friendship, which is one of the JFFA's goals. When the guide member needs to bear the cost in advance, if we want to obtain a fishing license, please bear the price. If there is a receipt for the license, please bear the price even if the fishing trip is cancelled by the weather or something. Guide may have been bought the license. This slide shows the Goodwill Guide regulation forms. Guide member's name. So it is written, in receiving the Goodwill Guide, we will strictly observe the following regulation. Be sure to read the back of this manual. Regulation. Number 1, follow the guide instruction when fishing. Number 2, during fishing, pay close attention to safety and physical condition, management, and do your best to prevent accident. Number 3, we will not take responsibility for the guide and the JFFA for accident, injuries, loss, and disadvantage that occur during fishing. Number 4, we will endeavor to protect nature and resources and will not act in violation. Number 5, when posting on SNS such as fishing record, get the guide consent to protect fishing point. Number 6, observe all manners as a fly fisherman, of course. Number 7, we will cooperate in collecting garbage from rivers during fishing. Now, finally, sign and date. This slide shows the visitor's agreement. I agree to and sign regulation 1 to 7. Visitor members' name, emergency contact information, affiliation branch name. So special note, please tell the guide in the advance about chronic illness or something, if possible. So this slide shows the fishing report recorded by the guide for after fishing. Fishing date, river name, facilities used, if used, accommodation facilities, etc. Improvement points in this fishing trip. So including visitors' impression and requests are also welcome. This is a goodwill guide in the Chugoku branch at Hiroshima. There are 3 people in the group, and one of them is a member of JFFA Chugoku branch. Everyone was happy to catch gogi, cha, for the first time. The bottom photo is everyone's photo. All of the participants. Everyone had a happy face. This is the goodwill guide in the Chubu branch, which guides the members of the Tohoku branch. This is the goodwill guide of the Kyushu branch, which guides the members of the Chugoku branch and the Chubu branch. Here is a picture of the goodwill guide in Kyushu. This slide also goodwill guide in Yamanashi Prefecture by Chubu branch. We also respond to goodwill guide requests from overseas. This photo shows fly fishermen from New Zealand and Australia. As a Chugoku branch, you can see the satisfied face in the photo. This is a picture of FFI's Dave Hughes and his wife as a goodwill guide. Thank you for your listening.